Welcome back to another edition of the What's the Play podcast. I'm Christian, here with Brian, JB, and Nate. And draft season, folks. NBA season is over. What? Oh, y'all.
We can introduce properly. This is
my fault. That's not really Nate, guys. My fault.
We had to see if y'all was watching for real. This is our first guest on the show, on the pod. So let's clap for that. Thank you for letting us have you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Would you like to introduce yourself? Or you want us to say?
Give me a little John Wall intro. Give me some.
You a little. You want that? Or you want to lay line or something? What you want us to do?
I want you to get up and dance and intro while you intro.
I just Yeah, you know, my name is Remington. I teach and I like long walks on the beach. Come holler at me.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
There we go. We got a.
You're not gonna explain where we found him?
I was about to. Dang, I'm talking. We found him.
Where we found him?
They don't know who he is.
I'm about to give him more info. Yeah.
All right, give him the John Wall intro then. Come on, man.
All right. So we got a what? You locked in with Houston Rockets Twitter, right?
Yeah,
we got super fan here.
Another one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we gotta talk about. Add that to the agenda, man. We talking about the
No,
Rockets.
that'll be in there. That'll be in there.
That's my second.
We gone to high school together. We can't age ourselves now. I ain't gonna say it. We went to high school together.
That's about 10 years.
Chill.
Am I lying?
Come on now.
Am I lying?
Relax. He's also
Since 9th grade.
Damn.
That's about 10 years.
Oh, that nigga.
We done? I bet. So, also friends with our producer Caleb. I don't know the extent of y'all relationship. That's
Sixth grade.
like yeah.
Dang, y'all really locked in.
Middle school.
Good googly moogly, man.
All right, let's get into it. We trust his basketball knowledge. It's all around sports knowledge. So be glad to have him here on the podcast with us. Hopefully, first of many more times.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to talk about the Rockets now.
Oh my goodness.
We'll get there.
Me neither.
We'll get
I
there.
got so for you.
Yeah, let's go.
So let's lock in. So we want to start with the Brad Beal CP3 situation.
Yes, sir.
All right, so take us off, Brian.
All right. Well, as has been happened over the weekend, obviously, Bradley Beal was traded to the Phoenix Suns for Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and a boatload of second-round picks. It looks like Chris Paul's still going to be with the Wizards because it doesn't. I know there was a report that they were going to try to move him to the Clippers, and try to add them in and make it like a 3-team trade, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen now. So, I guess first question would be from the Suns side. A lot of people have been saying that that they don't think that the Suns have enough to be championship contenders despite this move being made. How do you guys feel about the move? How do you guys feel about the move just in general?
I know for me, the package that the Wizards received was very indicative of how I personally viewed the Bradley Beal as the player and the contract as a combination. You know, the player itself, you could still argue that he's all-star caliber, of course. Year to year, he could have an all-star year. But the $50 million when a player has not consistently contributed to winning basketball over the years, you can argue that you could see why that trade package was the way it was. There were no first-round picks included. I believe there were some pick swaps. But, you know, we had people on the podcast last episode saying that he could go to the Magic and they would include, like, one of their picks because you can't just draft.
One of their better players,
yeah,
too.
And one of their better players just because you can't pick all their picks. But it's like, there's no need to take on a $50 million contract when you don't have to. I think for the Suns, I don't know how much sense this makes on the court. I feel like what they really needed, and I believe everybody probably feels this way, they really needed bench help. Of course, Chris Paul probably isn't netting you that, but I feel like the money that you could have picked up by declining his option, because what was it? He would have only made like $15 million.
Yeah, I think
It was partially.
I thought he had a player option.
Yeah,
No,
I think it's fully it gets fully guaranteed at some point.
Yeah, it's like an Al Horford contract where at a certain point it gets fully guaranteed, but the team can decide whether it becomes partially guaranteed, something like that. But it's like, I feel like if they had that money instead of of course Bradley Beal all-star level player, but it's like at some point you have to maybe try to go by the less is more theory. Maybe if you add smaller pieces that can contribute to playoff basketball and have depth on that team, I feel like maybe that was a better option, but they chose to go the super team route. And this team may not be more than 7 deep, if that. They have 4 players on the roster. They may not be more than 7 deep. Five? Who's
They
the
got the
fifth?
4 stars, and then you got Campaign.
And they got
Campaign's under contract.
and they got.
Oh, my
Basley,
boy
right?
is safe.
I think they still got Ish Wainwright as well.
Yeah,
you're right.
right.
NBA tight
Yuck.
end, right? Okay.
That's 6'5", small forward, power forward. I mean.
Whatever you. You play for the.
Is he gonna
Cardinals.
play?
He gonna
Trying to have a choice.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, they ain't got nobody else.
Rolling out.
No, I agree.
5 plus us 4.
For real.
You logged in?
Hey, man. Tryouts.
Minimum contract on the way.
They went on Twitter talking about the Suns holding open trials next week.
For real? Shoot, I ain't never the flight. Shoot, I got my Spirit flight ready. But like you said, Christian, I feel like going the super team route is very interesting after watching this past NBA Finals. Like we see how important depth is with the Nuggets and the Heat. Just seeing the role players that stepped up, and we saw from already the Suns. This past playoff performance, their bench was pretty much they didn't give them anything. So why do you double down on that? It's kind of interesting to me. We know Book can play point guard a good amount, but full time is something we haven't seen before. It's gonna be hard.
Defense.
The defense, we need JG to talk about defense in the NBA today. You know what I'm saying? I ain't as worried about that because they're gonna put up like 130 probably.
Yeah, that offensive efficiency.
They scoring all right.
crazy.
They gonna hit something.
They're gonna be up there. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't even think this raises the ceiling. Honestly, they're not the leading contender in my eyes.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens, man.
Before I feel like the ceiling is higher just because Bradley Beal is an all-star level player. But that's if he plays up to that level. He had a bit of a disappointing season last year through stretches. The numbers evened out towards the end to where it still looks like an all-star caliber season. So, of course, adding that type of player, the ceiling is much higher.
Much higher? What was the ceiling last year?
Of this team?
The Suns, yeah.
Probably where they
With
were.
Kevin Durant or
With Kevin Durant.
Championship.
a championship. But I feel like with Bradley Beal, without Chris Paul, and I'd assume you could get 3 more rotational players somehow.
If you get 8, if you
I
trade
mean,
8.
that's a championship ceiling. I feel like without Bradley Beal, it's still a championship ceiling, but it's a much more difficult task. But that's assuming Bradley Beal fits in perfectly. And, these type of teams always take a while to, form perfectly. So it may take them 15, 20 games till they actually look like the team that they traded for.
Yeah.
Y'all ever seen that video where it was that grown dude and he was cooking that little baby on the court?
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 players that's going to do that.
Yeah.
What I'm worried about is the playmaking. Like
Right.
you said,
That's a good point,
you said, Devin Booker, he can play some minutes at point guard, but long term, I don't know if he really got that on him.
Right.
Bradley Beal, I know he's not. He don't got that on him.
He ain't got that bad.
long term. I'd put when he was on the Wizards,
Yeah.
I'm putting Denny Avdia at point guard before I'm putting Beal.
That's crazy.
I am.
Xavier. That's crazy. Okay.
I'm about to say,
I'm
we
putting-
might need X to return that one. We'll see.
I'll come back to it, but Denny Avdia, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Gotcha.
That's about to be my fan. That's my fan favorite in the Wizards now. I don't got nobody to root for. Wall left, Rui Hachimura left, Beal left.
Yeah.
It's Denny time.
You got Johnny Davis.
Anytime.
It's Denny time.
What about this upcoming draft
But-
pick?
It's still Denny
Denny
time.
still Denny
It's
time.
Denny
But
time.
I mean,
It's
though,
Denny
like
time.
you seen Booker play point guard on a bad Sun team, man. I'd be really good on it.
That's what I was going to
And the
ask.
same for Bill. Bill, I'm gonna say he played point guard, but he has some playmaking skills.
Everybody, I feel like to make
No.
it. Okay, but not everybody. But
Of these 3, they all got the playmaker.
I was going to
they
say,
all
do
got,
you?
hear me out now. Run Katie at the point. Watch what they do. Run
Awesome.
Katie
I think
at
they
the-
did do that when
Run Katie at the
some
point.
point when he was in
Awesome
Brooklyn. He
demigod.
was cooking.
'Cause
So
he
he's got a
takes
point
16
Because
there.
at first I was gonna fake say run him at center because we've seen him run center minutes on the Warriors and on the Nets.
Right.
But I mean, they still fake got Ayton. I don't like Ayton in that
I-
lineup though.
I think they're going to move 8.
Got it,
so.
Trey. You got to move
See, I personally think it depends. I feel like I keep Aiden until the season start. If season starts, see how he plays, see how much effort he put in.
Okay.
However, though, I think KD probably go back to the Warriors role where he's like a utility defender and he don't handle the ball as much.
KD not doing that.
At
Yeah, I'm about to say
36.
KD's
He's
athleticism
done it
isn't the
before.
same.
He's not doing
Like
that.
Warriors KD before the Achilles situation was basically rim protecting, like he
Right.
said. and
KD's help
he had the
defense
athletic.
with the Warriors. Like the athleticism that he doesn't have anymore will
Exactly.
not allow
That's
him
true.
to play that type of
That's
help
true.
defense he was playing with the Warriors.
Right.
But with the Suns, I feel like you got to trade Ayton just because of
Got
the,
to.
So
You got to
I
get some
wouldn't-
type of depth.
I wouldn't even wait till the beginning of the season. I would do it almost as soon as possible, just because of the potential like rotation pieces you could potentially even get back. Like if you can get 2 to 3
That's what I'm
solid
saying.
rotational
That's what I'm
players for
saying.
Ayton, you got to make the deal.
So say
Would
right
you wait
now,
till after free agency though, or would you?
I would do it whenever it's offered,
Okay.
as long
That's
as it's
what I'm
before
saying.
the season.
So like, what's the trade package you think of right now? If you're a team,
Ah.
what Aiden? What's the
Give
trade
me a
package?
Hey,
Yeah.
low key,
Give-
Magic.
Oh.
Low key.
So he's back to the back. I mean, they already got
Yeah,
Wendell.
yeah.
They already got
Yeah,
Wendell
hold
Carter.
on,
though.
hold on. Let him finish.
They got
Where are they
Wendell.
giving up?
They got Wendell Carter, right? But Magic might be Magic is one of the teams I see that they have like they fake out an overabundance of almost every position. They log jammed up
Really?
minutes wise.
That's a good point.
Every
That's-
All right,
position?
so what do you
Every-
trade?
They just
well, they
got
definitely
rid
do
of,
it guard.
What do you
They
trade
just
for
got
Aiden?
rid of
No,
Arthur
they don't.
Hampton, but they still got fake. They got like almost 4 point guards because sometimes they
No,
was
no,
able
no,
to
no,
get
no,
one.
no,
Yeah.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
Cole Anthony a point guard.
Cole Anthony is
Okay,
not a point
okay.
guard, and Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs.
Come on
Jalen
now.
sucks. That's what
There
I'm
we
saying.
go. So where's the
Guard
overabundance?
prospects. Guard
But
prospects.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, and then don't forget they still got Gary Harris. So that's still a guard. They still running them at the 2.
See, that's a piece of Suns could use.
So
Yeah.
that's what
They
I'm
can
saying.
use J.I.
So
too, but
if you
he might not
put
stay
together a
healthy.
little package, put Aiton, take off Mo Vog. You could take Mo Vog off of him, and then probably I'd throw Suggs in there. I'd throw Suggs, Mo Vog, maybe Gary Harris. Just
Would you
know,
try to?
Gary
Would you
Harris
try to
throwing
get
it.
J?
Alright, so
Would you
two
try to get
rotational
J.I.
players.
or is that too much?
I don't know what his value looking at right now. I seen that documentary just
They
dropped.
try to get rid of that contract, probably.
if they're trying to dump contracts,
But-
it doesn't make sense to just do like 1-for-1 right now because they need that depth.
No, I'm
how
saying
would
try
I-
to add him into the deal.
If they add him
But-
into the deal, then
Question.
then the Suns probably got to give up somebody else.
Question.
They don't got nobody else to give up.
Got you.
Question.
Really? Hold on. What's Wagner, Suggs, and I know Gary Harris makes it.
I think Gary might be a free
Harris
agent.
like
Not gonna lie.
17. Harris
Is he a
makes
free agent,
17.
though?
He might be a free
No,
agent.
I don't think he is.
Here's he's on the team.
I feel like because what's Ayton making?
I think he's making like at least 30.
35, 34.
Yeah,
But
because he just signed that max
But-
He's making
extension.
34. Come on now.
That's
He's
insane.
not making 34.
That's
Y'all are
insane.
lying.
I hope
He
not.
just, he just made he just signed that max extension.
34. Jonathan Isaac might.
He's
got
gotta
to
be-
evens out the contract.
I say he got to be making at least 30.
They may
He
trade
might not
Jonathan
even
Isaac
out- I
too.
lied. He might not even
He's
out the
making
contract.
30. He's making 30.
They
30
can,
good.
Suns can throw in campaign, make the deal even.
So question. So if you're the Magic, why would you do that?
I don't know.
They still
I wouldn't do that if I'm the Magic. I'm sorry. That,
Oh,
Because
yeah,
Wendell
Wendell
Carter's
Carter's
better.
right
Not for-
there.
He's
Wendell,
better.
Wendell Carter's good, but I feel like they give him an opportunity to run like a big lineup and actually cook with it, right? Because if you got Ayton, we already know Wendell Carter can run the 4. If Wendell Carter runs the 4, you move Paulo down. Franz Wagner, they wanted him to play 2 originally. They
Basically,
kinda
So
messed
where's
up.
the shooting coming from? Franz and
Franz,
maybe
Paulo.
Wendell.
Franz a little. Paulo got where
Paulo's going to improve, but I can see where
he's gonna put it.
He's
He's gonna put that in the hoop. That's all I'm saying.
So okay, so I assume.
But that's just you know what I'm saying. And then
I
if
mean,
you
I
want to
guess.
start,
and then of course you got Markelle at the 1. So
yeah.
I know me personally, another team I'm looking at, of course, the Magic. Sorry, the Mavericks. The Mavericks. They've been looking at Ayton already.
Yeah.
hey man, is it that 1-for-1?
Oh my God.
Heck
Is
no.
it that 1-for-1? 'Cause
Heck no.
I'm asking because
Heck no.
that's who everybody seems to keep trying
Wait,
to
is it
link to
1-for-1?
Phoenix.
Don't
Kyrie
say
for Ayton.
No,
That's what he's talking
Kyrie
about.
is so safe in Dallas.
Heck no.
Man.
He's not
he's
gonna
not
stay
going
nowhere.
nowhere.
That's
But-
fine. I'm just saying because everybody keeps trying to link him to Phoenix. That's
so
why I
who do you
asked.
get? Reggie Bullock.
Yeah, Reggie Bullock's a good
A
A
pickup.
package of
Dwight
rotation players.
I say
man.
Reggie.
That's all
Powell.
Dallas got
Try
is
to get
rotation
Tim.
players.
Dwight
Powell.
Powell, Maxi Kleber.
I thought they're trying to
Alright.
they were trying to get rid of Tim Hardaway already. So they
Word.
throw
I take
him
Tim
in there.
Hardaway.
Hey, Dallas can make the contracts match now. They
Yeah,
got
yeah,
Davis
absolutely
Bertans
can.
making 16, Maxi Kleber making
But I'm
about.
saying if you're the Suns,
And I think
like
don't they
Christian
still
Wood's
got,
there still.
Don't they still got Davis Bertans too?
Yeah.
All they need at this point, all
Okay.
the Suns need is somebody on the bench.
Basically,
yeah, but like I feel like
Bertans-
Brian
assuming they'll
package
probably
something
bring back
else, though.
Landale.
Bertans'
too,
contract
so,
is
so they might have.
fake
They might
wild,
honestly have 7 guys already come. Assuming
Can you
they're
still
gonna try to
trade him
get
in
somebody
Indiana?
Like Jock Lando back.
He said Indiana.
Can you still trade him in Indiana?
If they
For
get
who?
Miles Turner, if they get Miles Turner is
For who?
Miles,
For who?
Miles Turner, Chris Duarte.
They're not giving.
Don't
They're not
him
giving
and
both
Miles
of them.
kind of?
I think
Don't him
Miles-
and Miles basically have like the same amount of money?
No,
Miles
So
making
to
30
speak.
million.
Miles making a little less than that.
Gotta
I
be
think
less
he's making
than
at least like 20 something because he just signed an extension.
that. I think Miles Turner's better. I don't know how you.
Yeah, Miles Turner is a much better player,
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion. Of course, Ayton has a higher
I
ceiling.
think he's a more
the
useful
idea
player.
of Ayton,
Useful? That yeah.
I think
the
more
idea
useful.
of
It's
Ayton
different
is
between
what the
better and
Pacers
useful.
might trade for because Miles Turner probably doesn't fit their current timeline.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, Miles Turner be making $20 million this year.
Miles
So that's
Turner,
not gonna work.
Miles Turner is just the perfect center. I just can't
Yeah.
come up off that.
He is. I'm just saying he's a very useful center.
Him and John
but,
Collins have been in trade rumors since we've been in high
but
school.
like I
That's
think
actually a great ball.
Tyrese Halliburton is that much of a good point guard that Aiden would probably, I won't say dominate, but be really, really good. He had potentially be better than he was in that
I
finals run.
I think
That pick and roll combo.
It'd be
Exactly.
nasty.
That's what I would say. He would have to be willing to be a P&R guy.
That Hadley to Aiden, that might be generational. It could be.
So I mean, it's a lot of different ones. I like Miles Turner too. Miles Turner, I love him. He's a great center to be, great useful center.
Right.
But like, I feel like it's potentially like I would have to have a duo
I think we're
of two young
underselling.
stars.
I feel like you might be able to get some more from Miles Turner depending on if a team is desperate. Because the Pacers would be trading for the idea of what Ayton could be with
Right.
Halliburton. But Miles Turner is just the center that every team wants that they just
Perfect
haven't been
center,
able to
yeah.
get. There's a reason people haven't been able to trade for him. The Pacers have a
They have a high price
value
for
on
him.
him that maybe we don't see.
Right.
Because he's been, like Brian said, he's been in trade rumors since y'all was in high school. I was in middle school, but y'all was in high school. But
But he
for
ain't-
him,
he got
He was
drafted.
drafted in 2015.
come
That's
on,
middle,
not
that
too
is
much.
middle school, isn't it?
No.
Hey,
No, that
Might
wasn't
be.
middle school for y'all.
hold on now. Hold on.
Why you guys say it like that? We was freshmen in high school. It wasn't that
2015.
bad.
No, hold on.
2015.
Yep, 2015. I was before
Damn.
my first year of high school. Yep, that was my 8th grade year. It was. Sorry. I know.
He's
lying.
It wasn't in the-
He's
Back to what I-
definitely
back to what I was saying
Absolutely
though.
lying.
Back to what I was saying though. Like the fact that his whatever that trade package is that Indiana wants for him and teams just haven't been able to get, because you could think about any playoff team that doesn't already have a starting level center.
Right.
They've all been in rumors to try to trade for Miles Turner. Boston was in rumors for Miles Turner
For
the
years.
last few years. The Clippers need to be in rumors for Miles Turner.
They've been in it. Yeah.
Um, Lakers, they'd be talking about the Grizzlies if they had an actual center who could stretch the floor.
The Nets were in it when they were.
But is
time
there any
KD
Nets,
talked
the
to happen.
Pelicans were in it before
Yeah.
they got
But-
Jonas because they wanted to stretch 5 next to Zion. It's like every team wants Zion.
But is there
Every-
any?
We'll talk about him later.
But is there any package better than Ayton and a couple picks? I don't think anybody's could do that, or at least a pick.
Yeah, he's not wrong. That's pretty good.
I don't think no other team got a
is it
package
really
like that.
though?
It depends on what teams we talk.
It depends on what team.
What picks
yeah, it
is
does.
Phoenix able to give up?
Not
Good
any
point.
first rounders because they
That's
already
good.
I
traded
think
those.
they
can.
I think they only got seconds, but you also got to think about who they're going to trade to. They have no other pieces besides Aiden. Maybe a second.
Yeah.
Maybe if you want to throw Ish Wainwright into it, they gotta
Oh, he's gonna
trade.
throw it in there.
They gotta trade. They gotta trade to a team who's willing to blow it up. You know what I'm saying? They need to get a bench. They really need to get like a half a bench off of them. And
Sounds
get
like a
some-
Washington.
That was like the
but-
Wizards, right?
I'm about to say, sounds like a
Sounds
Washington
like they
to me.
missed out on a deal they should have made.
Wizards
like they
already
messed up.
said no. They already said no.
'cause it's Denny time.
Man,
'Cause it's
what,
Denny
do,
time.
what do Ayton got to do with Denny though? They just don't want him.
Because they could, yeah, I'm about to say because they could have had him instead of CP3.
So what do you do? Sign and trade Kuzma. Who else do you give up?
Probably got to maybe move. Well, they probably could
KP.
Keep, I'm about to say they might be able
They're
to
not
keep
getting
KP.
KP.
See,
and
this
still
is
be
this is
fine.
They're
so
not getting
this is so
KP.
difficult for me because y'all talking about a player I would never want to trade for.
Aiden?
talking about KP or somebody else.
Kuzma?
I don't
Oh,
want.
Ayton.
I don't want KP. If I'm Suns, I don't want KP.
You don't want KP. You rather have Aiden than KP?
I'd rather have Kuzma other players than KP and one scrub.
Who's protecting the rim
What
for
the
you?
heck?
I'd rather trade for Kuzma and other pieces.
Tell me that lineup. Recite that lineup.
Who? So say you trade Kuzma. Who else on the Wizards right now? I can't think.
No,
I don't
no,
know
no.
if Daniel
Recite
Gafford's
the
getting.
Phoenix
I don't know if
Gafford's
he's with Daniel
staying.
Gafford.
Gafford's staying.
So.
They're not trading Gafford.
What's the Phoenix lineup if they trade Aiden for Kuzma?
They trading for getting other pieces from Wizards, but it would be Bill, Buck, KD.
Don't say KD at the 3, please. It's 2023. Let's be
Kuz.
for real.
It doesn't matter. It's not the order. It doesn't matter. Just name 5 players.
Oh, so who's that 5th player and who's starting center then?
Shit, you're right.
It's gonna be
Because
KD.
I mean, if you're not naming a center, that means you got Kuz at center.
I mean, you probably do have to trade for Gafford, but they're not giving up Kuz and Gafford.
So
For
Kuzma
Ayton.
coming off the bench,
Yeah, he would. He would come off the bench. Depending on how much you pay him.
I guess.
You have to though.
It's DeAndre Ayton, man. The conversation was bound to be disgusting anyway. I mean, look who we talking about.
Yeah. So
It may not happen anyway.
yeah. Well, I guess we can. Before we move on to the next subject, I think I want to shift it from these two teams to one of the teams that missed out on the Brad Beal trade, the Miami Heat. So obviously we know they offered. I don't remember what they offered, but I know people were saying it was a stronger offer than what Phoenix traded. And obviously, they've been trying to go big game hunting, and obviously, reports have been that they've shifted their focus to Damian Lillard. Probably talk about Dame a little bit later as well. But if they are unable to land Dame, would you call this a failed offseason for Miami?
I mean, I'll let you go first, Remington, actually.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I feel like injuries really riddled them. Like if Harold wasn't injured for the remainder of that series, they probably would have still lost, but they would have took it further. They would have took it further. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see Beal in Miami. I feel like that Beal and Jimmy that would have been a crazy duo. But I don't know because the Heat been running off just friendship and vibes. See, adding a new player in, you know, he might mess the vibe up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not quite sure if that's really what they wanted to get into. But I don't know. I like friendship ball. They was cooking a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship. Hey, that took them. The power of friendship really took them.
That's funny.
That might have been the Nuggets this year might have been the most systematic team I've seen in a while. It's like just they put it together, and you know they had to play Jimmy and his little ragtag, you know, like the Little Rascals.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the games, close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough for it to be some that'd have been like D2 end up going to the little park, and then they playing like middle schoolers.
Yeah.
And they got gamed by somebody. You know what I'm saying?
That's that bad.
I mean, not.
I mean, the way they were scheming stuff.
it is,
way they were scheming stuff up in order to beat teams before they got to the finals. I mean, Remington's got a point.
They the JUCO team that got 2 D1 players on the roster already.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The D1 players who had to transfer from the schools already because of antics.
Things off the court.
Yeah,
Antics.
They had antics going on, so they had to transfer.
Zion.
To place like
I don't know if it's those antics. It'd have to be another 2019 player. JB.
Oh, bad. I feel like it'll truly be a failed season. I don't know. I didn't hate what Lowry did for him, but they need to trade his thick ass. They need to get somebody out. Get him out. But bring in some like.
Is what? What'd you say, Chuck?
I say it again. They need to trade his thick ass.
Dang.
Get him out of there. But like not in a hateful way. Not in a hateful way.
Not in a hateful way.
Not in a hateful way.
Okay.
Not in a hateful way.
Hey,
Just
proud
like
month. Hey, proud month. Okay.
he's his time up there. Like I mean, he kind of.
What's he got? Like 1 more year in his deal?
Too many.
Yeah, it's like 2.
Yeah,
37. Go home.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he retired in my 2K league. I was a little surprised.
He got a
I mean,
ring.
he already got a chip. So.
He got a
All
ring in
that
the
money left
BBL.
on
What
the
up?
contract.
What more can you want?
Dang, that's only my baby. Never mind. Chill.
But like trade him. I don't really know who you would really bring in, but like I feel like go a little bit younger. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not the one I would want running point. I also don't want Gabe Vincent running point. I can tell you that now.
Me neither.
Okay.
So
I mean, you got Bam running point for real.
yeah,
Point center, man.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, I'm not mad.
Like a Draymond role.
If Bam could just develop a nice like mid-range jumper that people would respect.
He got it.
I'm not saying no, but that's what I'm saying because my point is every time he turns his back to the rim and he's ready to and he's like doing a dribble handoff.
Well, yeah,
everybody plays.
That's because he under that 8 and KD mindset. But in the finals he started playing like he got that.
That's what I'm saying. If he plays with that level of aggression, I think he could become an even better.
Yeah, he got that.
guy.
He got that alpha mindset in the finals, and it looked like, hold on, he actually looks like a number 1 option. So I think it's almost like we said last year. It's like, yeah, Miami's cool, but in order for them to take that next step, Bam is gonna have to consistently do X, Y, and Z. He did it in the finals. Jimmy just, his ankle. But
Nah, he said when his ankle.
hey,
I don't see it as an
Jimmy's
excuse
ankle.
because he rolled his ankle and cooked y'all in the first 2 games in the next round.
Celtics suck. So let's not even.
That's not true.
Yeah, those
I
things
say
don't-
we still got moves we need to make before the draft, but we'll talk
let's
about
not
that.
talk about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, not on camera no more.
Okay, all right.
Well, yeah, I mean the Heat need to make that move. They need to make is get Bam to be that guy for real. And if they do that and he turns into that guy averaging 22, 10, and 6, because I think he can do that.
He can do that.
I think he can.
Yeah.
And if Bam is averaging 6, maybe you can still run Gabe Vincent around at point. Tyler Hero probably will be at that point because I think they would put Gabe Vincent on the bench for Tyler Hero. And then Caleb Martin, they need to make sure he sticks around. I mean, his luck ran out in the finals, but he's still a good 3-and-D guy.
Don't forget about Haywood.
Who?
Haywood
Highsmith.
Highsmith.
I mean, he's cool. You know, he wears a good number. Shout out Kobe. But he can maybe develop into that 8th man.
I thought he could develop
instead of
so
the 11th man.
I think that could be a true utility player.
I mean,
like
that's
a
all
Torrey
they got
Craig.
is the utility
Like
players.
PJ Tuck.
Torrey Craig, not Jeff Green, but Torrey Craig. PJ Tucker's crazy.
He's not that good of a defender, though. That's it.
He could develop it too.
Man,
though.
Jason
His
Tatum was
effort.
going at that boy. He had to take him off the
He
court.
was.
He was
He
getting a little
was.
crazy.
He helped
Go sit
Jason
down.
Tatum
Go
find
sit
his
down.
rhythm. You know, it take a while for Jason Tatum to do that. Not too much on my dog though.
unless he's being aggressive and
Well.
getting to the free throw line early.
You know, I ain't gonna say.
But,
nothing
but
about his
we'll
kind.
say, like we said, we'll save Boston stuff for another day. I guess we can move to the.
I would like to answer the question.
Oh, my bad.
Can I answer the question?
My bad, JB.
Appreciate
My
it.
bad.
No, I'm playing. Nah, for Miami, it depends what their goal is for the offseason. I mean, if they feel like this year was a success rather than a failure, that kind of it tweaks what their outlook on it is. Like I said, every year they're going for a big fish, that last scoring option to kind of help Jimmy Butler on that end. But they made it to the finals twice without it. So they feel content with where they are and try to fill the holes a little bit. Again, they missed Tyler Hero, so they assume him coming back, they would, a puncher's chance at winning at the championship and all that. But if they don't get Dame, I think that the offseason could still be a success for them because they do a great job of finding those diamonds in the rough, I'll say. So that's why I don't feel like Dame is the be-all, end-all for the Heat's, offseason plans.
And then it's like if they add Dame,
Yeah.
and you have to give up Tyler Hero and probably Duncan Robinson, who had a bit of a resurgence in this playoffs. Not even just a guy who was coming off screens and shooting threes. He was going to the rack and finishing.
Killing them on backups.
If you give up two actual, 2+ rotational players, potentially some picks, you're not even really guaranteed to be the favorite. Like, yeah, it would be nice to add Dame, but it's like, because you could, like Remington already said, they have Tyler Hero. I ain't going to say they win, but maybe they lose in 6 or 7. Because them games was already close. And if you add a guy who can drop 20 a game to what you were already doing, I mean, I think they have a better chance of winning. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they need – this is not a team that I feel like is in a position where they have to force any move. This is a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals 3 of the last 4 years, in the Finals 2 of the last 4 years. They're in a good spot. I mean, time is ticking maybe because Jimmy's getting older.
Yeah.
But you add Dame, that just accelerates the clock even more.
And in the past, however many years, it's rare to see a team that's really built off of trades for a superstar player to win. You don't see much of that at all.
Not recently, at least.
Yeah, last time we saw, 08?
Probably.
No, Bron. My bad.
Well, no,
Miami.
that was a signing.
No, Brown was a trade, but
Braun was a free
No,
agent signing.
they were free agents.
Well, if the Heat, Braun was a sign.
Oh wait, no, because there was the Kevin Love trade. My bad, JB.
Braun was a sign and trade with the Heat.
Well, I guess Cavaliers, but do we really count that?
What do you mean?
Sign and trade, man.
Are we really counting that, bro? Come on, man.
It's what it is.
I'm confused.
I mean, he ain't wrong
What does he
though.
mean?
He ain't wrong. he was like a star at the time though.
I thought he was talking about Kevin Love in 2016.
But I was thinking about Celtics though. That was a
Kawhi,
true.
I mean, I guess we can count Kawhi because that's a trade too.
But I'm talking about like
Or are we talking about
already to a.
What you mean you guess?
That's a difference though.
I think he's saying building a super team off trades.
Yeah.
Oh, super team.
Oh, just all trades alone.
You said
Yeah.
championship team. That's why I was confused. What you talking about?
It's rare to see like somebody
so
trade for a
probably
superstar.
08
and
is
win.
probably the last
The only
one.
time
Unless y'all
I
wanna
only
say-
count Kawhi because that was like a head to head, like the
Yeah.
top player for top player.
Question: Are we not calling KD a trade?
No.
No,
Even though they trade D'Angelo Russell for him.
Ah, wow.
I'm not calling it a trade,
But that's what it was. I'm confused why we just erasing history.
No. They traded Kevin Durant for D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, they traded Kevin for
Right.
D'Lo.
You're right. My bad. You're right.
Yeah, edit that out.
Okay.
That was real embarrassing.
That was
on his part.
embarrassing?
Yeah.
Leave
Really?
that in. Leave that in.
All right.
All right, I got cooked. Leave it on camera.
All right, man. Well,
Go ahead.
I guess to segue from Caleb's point, we can move into the draft talk now. Obviously, the draft is this Thursday. Kind of already know who the number 1 pick is going to be. It'd be very surprising if Victor Wembanyama doesn't go 1.
Goddamn, Brandon Miller.
Because if he does it, there are going to be a few rich people around the world. Imagine betting on Scoot. Imagine betting on Scoot odds for number 1, man. But
Imagine
so,
betting on Anthony Black and get picked first.
that would be hilarious. You might have to hide at that point because they might come.
Yeah,
they might come find you.
You might be a prime suspect if you go number one.
Yeah. So I guess we start basically with the kind of the second and third picks because that's basically where the draft kind of really starts. So I'm gonna start with Remington here. I guess a two-part question. One, if the Hornets keep their second pick, who is your gut feeling that they'll take? And then two, well, I'll save the second part for after we answer that question because it'll tie in with the third pick as well.
I do think the Hornets are going to stick with Brandon Miller.
Okay.
I don't see why they would go with anybody else. I would hope they don't go with anybody else. I'm not going. For me though, personally, because Rockets got fourth pick.
Yeah.
I want now shake it up a little bit. I want Amin Thompson. That's what I want. I'll tell you why I want him.
Okay.
We need a secondary ball handler, and it should not be Jalen Green. Because I remember the season before, our secondary ball handler was Kmart Jr. I love Kmart Jr. Love Kmart Jr. to death. But why is he bringing the rock up the court? Why is he bringing the rock up the court?
I know his dad wasn't teaching him to do that.
Because he couldn't do it. It was like, I want him to be, because like, and he tall. He like 6'7", so he could
Like
easily
6'7", yeah.
6'6", 6'7". So we could, we finally get a little bit more size to our lineups because like we're still trying to get out that D'Antoni small balls. You know what I'm saying? Like people we still have on our team, they fake a little undersized. I mean, they play big.
Power forward, Jay Sean Tate.
hey, not too much on him. Not too much on him.
Hey, I'm just mentioning the size, man.
But he worked though. He got a big heart. He got a big heart, and that's what matters.
How tall is Usman Garuba?
He's 6'9",
He don't play.
He's 6'8".
That's a
He's 6'8", and I
center,
don't even really like Usman. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Dang.
I ain't gonna lie to you. No, Tari Eason. Tari Eason's a dog.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
That dog.
Tari Eason's a dog.
So I know. I think the expectation seems to be that a man's gonna go at 4. But
I don't know with Houston, man.
Well,
You never.
but,
You really
but I would.
don't know.
But I would ask another thing that obviously was floated like right after the draft lottery was obviously the Hornets and the Rockets making a trade. Would you be? How would you feel if they traded up to 2 when it got Scoot, or would you still want a man instead?
That's a tough one, right? Because like from the heart, I want KPJ to keep running point guard.
Oh,
I do.
my
I really.
gosh.
I believe he got that on him. Again, I believe KPJ at the point
Okay.
might be. Check me out. Might be playoff Pacers Lance Stevenson level. And that's a good glue guy. I don't need him to be the star of the team. I need him to put the rock to the floor and show me some.
That feels like a 6-man in today's league. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But I'm in today's league. Everybody trying to be a star. Everybody don't need to be a star.
Good point.
Somebody just need to bring the team together. You know what I'm saying? And I like KPJ. I want him to be our guy for real. So even with the talks when it was like we bringing back Harden, I'd love to have Harden back. But like take KPJ out for Harden. Like I mean I know that
I wouldn't do that either.
We'd instantly win games, but like
Yeah.
it's not about winning.
Do you really?
CT is the other.
You win game. You gonna
As
miss
the other
nine.
guy
That's
that's
game.
tapped in with Rockets Twitter, how do you just your overall analysis?
About Harden or what? He just
Just
All of
Rockets,
it. All of it,
Rockets in general.
you know,
Wherever you want to go with it.
I'm primarily tapped into Rockets Twitter, just because of Jalen Green. When you
Man
said,
of the week.
Huh?
Man of the week.
No.
My bad.
We ain't continuing that. That was absurd.
That was
But
my bad, I'm sorry.
Jalen Green. I just see the traits, and maybe it hasn't come to fruition. Like you said, you don't even want him to be the secondary ball handler. That's a bit insane to me, because we've seen him put in a tough position. The coaching, I don't think was strict enough. I don't want to use the word strict because he's not kids, but in a way, you put a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-olds on one team.
You need discipline.
You need some discipline, man.
And they got the right guy.
Happy Father's Day.
Hey, they got their guy now. Hopefully, Ime. He'd be a little all over the place off the court, but
he a pervert, but he a winner.
hey, you put Jalen Green in this system. I don't know.
I don't know if that's the right terminology.
I don't know if this is the. You may see primary ball handler Jalen Green under Ime, man.
I wouldn't truly be mad at it. Like if we do gotta get rid of KPJ, then I'm not mad at Jalen Green like taking up that mantle. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like just for right now, I don't want his usage to be that up because he's already like fake inconsistent off the shots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't want him to feel like he needs to start doing that hero ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want the offensive flow a
We
little
need
bit
to
more
humble him a
natural.
little bit.
Yeah,
Sit
but
down,
he hooped though.
Yeah.
He hooped
he
though.
hooping, yeah.
But I don't want him to feel like he's got to be the only hooper on the team.
Yeah.
That would be an issue if you get rid of KPJ because
That's a good point.
the pure.
I mean,
I don't want to
Tari
be
might
one.
be
I
a
don't
good
want to
guy.
be one. No. I'm talking about pure hoop. Talking
Right,
about
right.
bucket getters. Tari
Oh,
ain't
got
no.
you.
Tari ain't no pure bucket getter.
Nah.
Tari gonna play off people perfectly, but he ain't no bucket getter.
Yeah.
KPJ is a bucket getter. I wouldn't be upset if the Rockets kept KPJ. I'm a KPJ fan. I'm just not that much of a fan of him alongside Jalen Green.
That's a good point.
But if this team gets, if they say they keep KPJ, I'm not mad at the amend fit, just because this is a guy who also can handle the ball, also can play make, and he's also very athletic to the point where he has been great off the ball as well. Like people always talk about Asar is the shooting guard, Amin is the point guard, but I feel like both of them day one will be at their best off ball, simply because Amin will be guarded to the point where they're gonna make him shoot. This is a 20%-ish 3-point shooter. If he's the primary ball handler, bringing the ball up the court,
They gonna play their best
getting to the rim will be very difficult for him immediately. If he's playing off the ball, it's much harder to help off of him depending on where he is on the court. So I feel like day one, while he's continuing to work on that shot, because I believe the shot will improve eventually. I believe towards the end of the season, the OTE season, the numbers did start to go up a little bit. That if he's playing off the ball, it'll be very difficult to guard him off the catch. And he's also a great enough playmaker where he can be your secondary ball handler. But I feel like that just takes the ball out of Jalen Green's hands too much. And I think this is the guy that you probably need to be a 25-point per game scorer if you want to reach your peak with this particular core. And I don't know what that peak looks like because I think Sengun is a good piece that you can develop an offense around. Jalen Green is a great player who I believe can be your primary scorer per se. And I don't know how high of a ceiling that team has, especially with the current pieces. I feel like this fourth pick will really define how far
I have
they
a question.
can go, though.
I have a question. So do you I know that Jalen Green is not as good, but I don't know of his potential. To be honest, I don't watch him as much. But do you think he can model the same thing the Kings or the Nuggets could do?
Don't ask me because I'm going to say something crazy.
I was about to say the Nuggets is what you should be looking at with Jamal Murray and
I feel like that Jamal Murray thing is he should surpass that.
I agree.
He should be 25, 27 points per game, regular season, not just playoffs.
Yeah. Murray should be too.
Do you think it could be closer to like a Devin situation?
I won't speak.
Because I was gonna ask earlier if you put him at the point, would it be like?
No, I don't want him at the point.
No. I know. I'm not saying he needs to be at the point. I'm just saying I was gonna ask when you guys were suggesting putting that at the point. Would that have been in a situation like we're saying now with Suns Devin Booker, where he's obviously best getting his shot and getting points, but asking him to try to play make for others would that be too much?
I feel like it's different because we've seen Devin Booker have a decent amount of success playing the point, not for an 82-game season, so it's still a little bit questionable. But in games where it matters, Devin Booker has been a decent enough option to put at the one. If you put Jalen Green in a game where it matters and you ask him to play point guard, it might get a little scary. And that's only because he's in his third year, didn't have the best coaching his first 2 years, so he may just have no clue what to do, especially if he doesn't have anybody around him who knows what to do. But I feel like the Nuggets type of offense with Sengun in that Jokic light role, Jalen Green being able to score, create his own shots, attack the rim. Once he continues to get that 3-point percentage up, because you don't really see these type of hyper athletic players being able to have that 3-point shot making ability that he does have, like off rip. He came in the league, an average to above average 3-point shooter. So he has all the tools. He just got to put it together, And I'm still in the belief that he will put it together. I think he will be the best player out that draft class. And for that to happen, he got to get to that 25, 27 range. And if he does, this team might be dangerous. Next 3 years, if we don't see that, can't do it.
You said what?
I said next 3 years. He got 3 years.
That's it?
Yeah.
And then what? How you gonna feel after that?
I'm out.
Oh, dang. Okay, all right. Well, back to the original question we was talking about. With the Hornets, the second pick, we've been dang, man, god dang. Nah,
He likes answering the question, man. Let him answer the question.
I just know what his answer is.
I've conceded. I've been conceded. So we've had this conversation for the last 2 months now. Even though I've stopped having the conversation, they keep bringing it up.
Well, we probably going to have a conversation Thursday too. But
All I've been saying is that I feel like the fit with LaMelo and Scoot is less optimal than the fit with LaMelo and Brandon Miller. Would you agree?
Was that really your point?
Yes, I've said
No,
it
it was
so
not.
many times.
No, it was not.
he did. He said.
No. His original point was he wanted Vic in Charlotte and Scoot in San Antonio, and from that point on, he has adopted the Brandon Miller point. His original point.
You
was,
agree with that though?
I did.
I think we all agree with that.
But
So
look,
what's the problem?
no, I don't agree with the Brandon Miller part though.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to. I didn't ask you to agree. I'm just saying. That's why I felt it.
I've rarely heard you mention Brandon Miller though. Whenever we've talked about it, it's always been we seen LaMelo with Terry Rozier. We know what it's gonna look
I think
like.
that's because
He was saying that in the group chat.
no,
He ain't
I
say
get
that.
that.
so many
I just think he
times.
was always. I don't think he was ever because y'all never asked him who exactly he wanted to get
Ain't
picked.
nobody have to ask
It
him.
started exactly. You didn't have to ask. You knew I was talking about Brandon Miller as the other option. First, I said it the first time, then I had to repeat it because all we were talking about was the comps that I said initially. We've seen LaMelo Ball next to a smaller combo guard, which is Terry Rozier. That's why I started off after I said I'd rather see Brandon
But
Miller.
that's the
next.
thing. You talking about combo guard? Scoot is a point guard.
So how does 2 point guards? How does it make it?
Have we seen?
better?
Have we seen 2 actual point guards? That
Listen,
of
but-
your comparisons that you've given,
Of
have we
my
seen
comparisons.
2 actual point guards?
What's
Is Dennis Smith
comparisons?
really a point guard?
The pairs that just 2 point guards, because then you going switch it up when I
No,
say
because
something.
Terry Rozier you called a combo guard.
Right.
If Terry Rozier is a combo guard, is Dennis Smith really a point guard?
Wait.
His other comparison was Luka and Dennis Smith.
So the comparisons I gave were Tyrese and De'Aaron Fox, Luka, Dennis Smith.
No, that Tyrese and De'Aaron Fox thing was awful.
It was bad.
That's 2 point guards. How's that awful?
They were able to both get off though.
But who? But
Because
Tyrese
then-
was better without.
I'm about to say because then Brandon's
No.
whole, because then Brandon's whole point was you might as well take the guard
See,
now
that's-
and then move
And
one
that's
of them
my
later.
thing.
I agree with that.
I think your point needs to be that you would rather see Scoot somewhere else instead of this.
That's
whole
what he-
Scoot
that was
and
his whole
LaMelo.
point.
No. But the whole thing he is saying is this Scoot and LaMelo thing.
Yeah, he's saying
The
this
Scoot
last
and LaMelo thing.
Yeah,
will
he's
be
saying
fine.
Scoot and LaMelo. No, I think he's saying Scoot and LaMelo might be okay, but he's saying it would be more optimal for Scoot to have his own
No,
team
do y'all hear this?
than to play with
We
both of
all
them.
agree on that.
But I
his-
think that was his whole thing.
No.
Which
so
why
I
don't know? Why we keep having this conversation? We all keep agreeing. I've
No,
said
no.
it so many times. We
'Cause
all
you keep
agree.
saying that Scoot and
Y'all
LaMelo
talking
thing
in circles,
is
bro.
a questionable.
Y'all
fit.
talking in circles right now.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
Talking
would
circles.
infuriate me in the group chat. I'm like, bro, we keep agreeing
No,
all the
and then
time.
he says that, and we're not agreeing because I
It's-
don't think
it's-
Scoot and
but it's
LaMelo is a
like-
bad fit.
I
It's
didn't say
like
it was bad.
You just said it's
But
less
it's like,
optimal.
y'all both have that 2 separate little arguments, but point is, what Brian said, y'all cool with seeing Scoot anywhere else. For real.
Yeah,
That's it. Same thing.
we're locked in. I get it. It's the same thing we're
Same
saying.
Yeah, man.
Brandon Miller over Scoot talk is.
I'm not saying that.
I didn't
though.
say that.
He did say that. He did. He just said that. Brandon Miller.
He's
in
not
Charlotte
saying
over
Brandon
Scoot
Miller.
in
In terms
Charlotte.
of
We're not
fit,
saying it's better,
not in
but
terms
of fit. Yeah, you know.
He's not saying Brandon's better than.
So if you're Charlotte, who are you picking? At
Scoot.
2?
I've said this.
He said he's already conceded. He said he already
I've been
conceded.
said this. I said Scoot.
Oh, you. Oh, my fault. Okay.
That's what he was saying.
God
We had
dang.
that
He said on
conversation.
camera that he likes the Brandon Miller fit better.
Yeah, he
I
he
do.
likes the Brandon.
That mean they
Miller-
should take
So
him. Does that mean they should take him?
Does that make sense? If you
Bro, we
personally,
see-
no, if you personally like the Brandon Miller fit in Charlotte more, why would you take Scoot?
I think he's saying that's
Scoot's
his
a better
gut- I
talent.
think he's saying his gut pick is that.
Okay.
So,
Charlotte's going to take
you're
Scoot.
saying Scoot with Hornets
I think he's saying Charlotte's going to take Scoot. But
no,
he
but
would-
no. But I asked him. So you think Scoot and LaMelo has a higher ceiling than Brandon?
Yeah,
and,
I do.
Okay, so he just think the floor with LaMelo and Brandon is higher. And you think
I
the
do.
ceiling? Okay, that makes sense.
I do.
Okay,
That makes sense.
That makes
That
sense.
makes
Okay. I guess the second part of my question. I'm sorry, JB. I didn't know you were done.
Did y'all
I'm sorry.
see that, right?
I didn't
Like,
know-
am I
I didn't know you
tripping?
was trying to go. My bad. My
Am-
bad. Continue.
Am I wilding?
What? Continue, JB. JB,
I'm
continue.
new here.
All right, my bad. I'm good. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
I just
Oh,
appre-
man,
I just
Brandon
just
on his
appreciate the
mind.
hospitality. You know what I'm saying?
God damn, we've been going in circles for weeks, and they keep trying to prove me wrong, so I'm agreeing with them. It's blowing me.
The gaslighting is crazy, JB.
Man, I taught them how to gaslight, and they using it on me, bro. What the heck? Anyways.
Hey, we gaslighting you.
Shoot, man. God damn. Put the flame on all that.
Yeah, but I was going to... So,
It's working.
obviously, it's crazy. Obviously, there were reports that came out that have gone cold as of late, but there was talks that obviously that Zion Williamson was potentially going to the Hornets or the...
Who reported that?
Was it Chris?
It was Chris Haynes. It's not.
I don't know it was Chris Haynes. I thought it was,
Chris Haynes told me Chris Paul was about to get released
I
2
don't
weeks
remember
ago.
who it was.
I thought it was a female reporter. I must be tripping. I'm sorry. My bad.
Please cut that, Caleb. Please.
What you mean?
But I think there was I don't think it was windy, but I know there was a report that like Zion could potentially be that Zion and the second and third picks were both being discussed. So, I guess I'll give my hot take first, and then I'll let y'all y'all do what y'all want to do from there.
These hot
I'll be
takes
talking
be
about me.
going.
I'll be
Well.
talking
Nah,
about his hot takes be wild.
His hot takes be wild.
Oh no, this is gonna be a crazy hot take,
Oh,
and
no.
we might have to cut the episode here.
Yeah, let me turn my ears on.
So if the Pelicans trade for the second pick and they take Scoot Henderson, I think they immediately become a better team.
Oh,
That's not
that's
that
not that
hot though. That's
not that crazy.
That's a little
Considering the fact
lukewarm,
that
bro.
Zion
But who
don't
you
play more than
trading?
30 games.
That's not that
If he's
crazy.
saying for
Zion for
that
the number
Zion-
2 pick.
It's not
And you take
crazy
Scoot
because
to 2.
Zion doesn't play more than 30 games. He just
Right.
muted your mic.
God dang. Dang.
Nah, you good. But I mean that's not crazy just because Zion don't play 30.
Right, that's
I think
it.
if you trade Brandon Ingram for the second pick,
I would not do that. I would
Yeah.
not do that.
well actually, I would consider it.
I would
Consider it.
I definitely would consider
Both
it.
But,
of them be
uh,
hurt. Even though Zion play less game, of course.
I know
but
But
Brandon
both
Ingram,
be hurt.
Brandon Ingram be hurt, but
But
nobody pays attention
But
to
the
it because
thing,
Zion be hurt.
but I
more.
think
Right.
if you move Zion instead of Brandon, it allows you. I think it allows your starting lineup at least to be a little bit better because
I don't know, man.
because
Trey
you
Murphy
have,
cool too, bro. Trey
No,
Murphy
I mean,
been
I'm-
Hey,
nice.
Trey Murphy been
Nice.
balling.
No, I get that, but I'm
Hey,
saying
Trey Murphy starting in either scenario here.
you
True
think
that.
you would start Trey?
True that. Yeah.
At the 4.
Yeah, regardless.
If
So-
you trade Zion-
So my
4-3.
fault. So the reason why I was saying that is I was assuming that at least from my point of view, you obviously have Ingram, but then you have Herb Jones starting because he's an all defensive candidate presence and would take some of the defensive responsibility off Ingram in terms of having to defend the best wing.
Wait, so who's at the 4 in this scenario?
Probably
But did we-
Probably Herb.
Herb Jones at the 4, please.
No.
All right, back to what I
You
was.
talking about you trade Zion?
Yeah.
No, Trey Murphy. Wait, so who's the shooting guard? Oh, wait,
It'll be-
so
it'll
So
wait,
it would be Scoot,
Scoop,
McCollum,
CJ.
Ingram, or Herb if you want to put
I
him in the
think
3.
McCollum gone too
Whoever's
far.
not
Wait,
there is at the
what-
4.
gonna lie.
What is Herb Jones at the?
Valanciunas.
What is Herb Jones giving you at the 4 that Trey Murphy isn't giving you at the 4?
I think he's better defensively.
Okay,
I understand that Trey
okay,
can spread the
slightly
floor.
better defensively.
Slightly?
Yeah,
Slightly?
At the
Trey,
4.
At the
four.
At the
Trey
4.
Trey Murphy. First of all, Trey Murphy gets after it on the defense.
I'm not saying he
Yeah.
doesn't,
And
but
he's
we
an
talk
act-
about an all defense. I feel like Herb is like basically all defensive candidate.
That floor
every
spacing
year.
with Scoot and Herb Jones might be a little crazy day one. You know,
Okay.
Scoot's my guy, but that floor
If,
spacing.
if you're valuing spacing, then obviously you're gonna want Trey Murphy out there. I understand that. I'm
if
just
you're
saying.
if you're valuing 2023, yeah, you want Trey Murphy. If you're trading Zion, you're gonna put Trey Murphy in that lineup just because he got that ceiling.
But it's not like
I wouldn't be
Zion's
surprised,
not
man. Trey
stretching the floor.
Murphy, 18 points a game, 20 points a game.
He could be most improved next year for.
You
I-
might be cooking. You might gotta
He could
save
be.
that clip, because that might.
That might be one of the
If
ones.
the
Zion
trade actually
only-
happens.
Yeah.
Even if there's no trade, Zion only playing 25 games.
Yeah.
30.
Or Brandon Ingram playing fit like 30.
Yeah. So
So
they only getting
Dang,
18 games
y'all.
combined from them
they
two.
both not gonna be healthy at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it's
Trey Murphy gonna get a decent amount of starts. He might average 16 to 20. I wouldn't be surprised.
And we're gonna have to probably break down in his starts once we, look back as well.
Yeah, we might gotta check. We might gotta check them numbers. But
We'll save this clip so we come back to it in about a
yeah,
year.
so
TikTok
yeah,
time.
We gotta go viral off one of these takes eventually. That's crazy enough. Trey Murphy, Tyus Jones, most improved player. You know it's a Tyus Jones.
Tyus
Yeah, we
Jones.
know you're about
No,
that.
this
It's
is
Tyus Jones podcast.
This is a
man.
Tyus Jones podcast, man. We support Tyus Jones. Reports came out that they might trade him for a start to be a starting point guard full time somewhere. Shout out Tyus Jones. I hope you get your bag. Come to the Celtics. We'll start you. But
yeah.
hey, JB was talking about it. I don't know why he acting like he the one who mentioned Tyus Jones.
He did.
First ever person to mention Tyus Jones on the podcast, and now he hates that we.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him. That's
It's every episode now.
You just trying to figure out why Tyus
Most
came
improved
out.
kind of crazy. 32. I don't know what you. I lied. He's not 32.
He is not 32.
Is it really though?
No, he came in the league 2014.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
what
I
he
came
averaged this
after
year.
that.
Because if Tyus Jones starts, I ain't gonna tell you what the numbers gonna be.
Tyus Jones.
I ain't gonna tell you what they gonna
He
be.
has like 9 and like 4 or 5.
Because 17 and 10 might get him most improved.
That's a great bar, actually. I was gonna say
Especially if he's on a winning team.
I was probably gonna say if he start his number, he probably get you a little 6 and 13 on some Rajon Rondo kind of work. Not defensively though, but
You said 6 and 13.
I'm assuming he's saying 6 assists and
Six-
13 points.
Tyus
6
Jones
points,
getting
13
10
assists.
easy.
6
I don't
points,
know.
13 assists.
6 points, 13
He
assists.
looking up the numbers
We're
to
moving
hate.
like 2K
He's
Chalmers. God dang. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
looking
I
up
thought
the
he was gonna say
numbers to
13
hate.
to 6.
No. The assist
Nah, 'cause
is
he
10
don't-
easy.
that's what I said. Yeah,
He getting
Those-
10 assists.
That's
easy,
an
yeah.
over 9.5 every night on Tyus Jones.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, that's why. But he don't ever need to score though. Like he's a pass
Right.
first. He's the
Definitely.
definition
And you
of
put
pass
him in that
first.
right scenario though. You put him. Who's Brooklyn's point guard? Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie.
Man,
Man,
Brooklyn. Brooklyn.
You might be cooking with that
It's
too.
About to say,
They
didn't
not-
they say in the report
They
that
not
they
in
were
the
looking at
game
trading
sweepstakes right
him?
now. It don't seem like.
Who's
I
the
say,
point
didn't
guard
they say
right
in
now?
the report that they were
Spencer
potentially
Dinwiddie.
talking to the Nets,
Hey,
trying to get Royce O'Neal?
Tyus Jones, man.
I mean,
So that'd be like
Next to
Tyus,
Mikal.
Tyus, Mikal.
I ain't worried
Cam.
about the lineup. I just need him to be that
Claxton.
secondary. Not even secondary. Tertiary.
Would Cam
what's the word?
Thomas start in that lineup, or would it be
No.
Finney Smith?
No.
He's
Man,
not
they don't
playing.
like him.
No.
No.
They don't like him.
Well, I'm trying to think. I'm just like, because
They
you
need
know,
to send
because it'd be
Cam Thomas
McCall
to
and
the
Cam for
Clippers.
sure, and then it'd be
Yeah, Jock Vaughn hate that man.
Nick and Tyus.
Yeah, I don't know why he don't like him that much.
So Tyus averaged 24 minutes a game this past year.
He has like 11.
24. Oh, he averaged 10 points a game. I see he averaged 24 minutes a game.
I know. I'm saying how many assists?
12 more
Oh, I
minutes,
ain't-
he can get
5
7 more
assists.
points.
He averaged
10
a
points,
steal,
5
didn't
assists, and
Same time?
24.
he? He averaged close to a steal, didn't he?
One exactly. One still.
Oh yeah, he might.
So how many more minutes? 8 more
17,
minutes?
10, and
At
2
least 8.
steals.
At least
How many 8 to 10
Hold
depending
on,
on
hold
what
on.
minute, what team he goes to.
Watch it. How many rebounds he averaged?
2.5.
Oh, yeah, that's going up to 4.1. Oh, yeah. 17, 10, 4.1 boards, and 2 steals.
You gotta look at
And
that per
point-
36.
and
Wait. He's doing that with 8 more minutes?
And point. No. 24 plus 12 is 36.
with what
games.
team?
No, he's doing.
I just told you the
he's
Nets.
playing 36 minutes.
minutes?
What are you talking about?
36 is crazy.
Fred
36
VanVleet,
makes sense.
He put up 36
Fred
minutes a
VanVleet
night.
sucks, man. Come on.
He going to Toronto?
36 minutes a
Nah,
night for
Toronto
Tyus
about to throw out
Jones.
an all 6'9" lineup. Y'all about to see it. Delano Banton at the 1. Watch.
Nah, that's not
Oh,
great.
God.
Gary Trent gonna be the shortest. Actually, I don't even. He
might
wasn't
come
that
off the
good,
bench.
Yeah.
He just
He's 6'6".
resigned.
6'7"? He's 6'7".
He's
Yeah, he's
6'5".
6'7".
Gary Trent. Nah,
That's
he
like
likes
6'5".
his 5.
He looks 6'5" next to them. He's really like 6'6" though.
He low-key tall. He
Next to
low-key
Scotty
tall.
Barnes and Delano Banton and
They-
Pascal.
He making a bag
They don't
low-key
even know what
too,
he was
though.
talking about, bro.
Chris Boucher.
I don't know ball for real.
He making a
No,
wait.
no,
How?
no.
6'5"?
He's
Yeah, he's
6'5".
6'5".
He making a bag though.
Yeah,
I
he get a
respect
good
that.
bag.
He just be looking
Toronto
tall
might
sometimes
mess
because
around
he
next
be
year.
rolling the shorts up and dropping his dropping his socks.
He do
So he
that.
just look a little tall.
Yeah.
And the hair.
Yeah.
Man,
That'll do it.
6'5" is the shortest person in your lineup.
Might be dangerous.
And we know we could
That's
hoop
common.
though. We know we could hoop though.
Oh yeah, Gary Trent. That's my boy.
Yeah.
He should have been averaging.
Okay,
I ain't gonna say nothing too crazy. I ain't gonna-
Please don't. Please don't.
I ain't gonna say nothing crazy.
But now that we're talking about the Blazers, I mean, how do you feel about Dame choosing to stay with Portland for
Well, we
the
ain't
10th
gonna
year in a row?
Man,
We
that
ain't
trade
gonna say
request
that
go.
officially yet.
That trade request gonna hit so crazy Friday. It's not even gonna be funny.
They said they aiming for
Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, nah, that's not gonna
That trade
happen.
request is gonna hit so
That's
well
not
on
gonna
Friday.
happen.
It's not gonna. It's gonna shake the NBA. Well, not shake the NBA up, but
What's okay?
it's gonna be so great to see NBA Twitter on Friday morning when he requests that trade.
But wait, they're aiming for Bam to pair with Dame, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, they are so.
So again, that trade request on Friday is going to hit.
I said this in the group chat yesterday, but this is almost sad to see.
It is.
They really went from
not-
elite wing to Bam Adebayo.
Yeah,
No
it's
offense to
like-
Bam, but we know what they were
and
aiming for.
It's sad because Portland fans they know well if they keep Dame, it's just mediocrity. They trade Dame, it's a rebuild. But it's like a rebuild is probably more enjoyable as a fan because you've been dealing with this whole Dame charade, and even then you had Dame this year, and you still sucked. So it's like.
And you have a bunch of young talent in place.
And the young talent is
Facts.
there, and I'm scared that they're gonna trade it. And if they trade Shaden Sharp,
I don't think it's good. I don't think Shaden's getting moved.
They don't. They do. If they
traded
No,
Shaedon
I'm
Sharp.
saying I don't think he's getting moved. If there's going to be a move, it's going to be number 3 and Anthony
But look,
Simons.
if
I don't
you're
think
doing-
anything
if-
else
But
gets
if that's
moved.
the move, I don't know.
I like
what type
Anthony
of player you're
Simons
getting.
in Portland though. I wouldn't move Anthony Simons.
I like
No,
Anthony Simons.
I
being
agree
their
with
one.
y'all. I'm just saying I think Shaedon Sharp's. I won't say he's untouchable, but I don't think they're moving him unless they're getting like a top 20 player, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I
So.
feel like Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharp might be better than Dame and CJ.
It
That might be
is.
crazy to
It
say.
is.
It-
They
it
have
is.
the
I
potential.
think
They
it's
definitely have the
gonna be
potential
better.
to.
It's gonna
Them
be better.
two,
If
and,
Shaedon
like, you
Sharp
have
lives
more
up to the
support.
potential that people have for him, they definitely will be better than
And
him.
Shaedon Sharp is actually above 6'3".
He's
Right.
6'5".
Right.
You know,
I
they
thought he
had
was
two
6'7".
6'3" shooting guards. I mean, my fault, Dame. 2 6'3" guards for the last 10 years, and they were just rolling them out there, wondering why they wasn't winning.
Yeah.
No defense whatsoever. They had Alfred Camino as the best defender in the lineup.
Dang.
Like,
And that's the
And
thing.
he was,
and that's the
and he
thing.
was
with-
old at the time. It wasn't even like
Facts.
young. It wasn't even like
Yeah.
young chief.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
wasn't.
saying? This old chief.
Yeah, they had Maurice Harkless out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
honestly, if you think about it, Portland could hold all the cards at 3, depending on who goes at 2. Because if Brandon Miller goes at 2, you get to choose between Scoot and men, and that might be
Well,
dangerous.
Portland said that they want to hold on to the number 3 pick. They trying to do the 11 pick.
11th pick.
Am I
not
wrong?
11, 23.
Dang.
No, they're trying to trade the 23rd pick. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I know that.
They said
God
they
dang.
said they were dangling the 23rd pick. I was like, yeah. It's
Can we
time
be
for-
serious?
Yeah, best you getting for 23 is Gary Harris. I don't know what they think they about to get for 23. That's
The
about
heck?
to pair with Dame. That's
They about to try
they
to
about, they about to
try
call
to get Jeremy
Miami with
Grant.
a real weak offer, and Miami is going to block them. They ain't even going to get
It's,
the opportunity to
I think
trade Dame.
it's def time to blow it up in Portland.
Absolutely.
Like
I feel
Dame,
like
Dame
everybody
in Portland
agrees
is
on-
like.
Honestly, move him, move Nurkic, move Grant, get all you can.
It's so
Ooh,
easy to
maybe
say
not.
that.
Maybe not Nurk. I'm kind of feeling Nurk right now. I can't lie. Nurk is. Don't come on mic. Don't come on mic. Wait a minute. Wait. Nurk. Okay, the Bosnian beast, right? You got to remember what he's came from. He came up from just like being around Jokic. And he's fake kind of developing a little bit of that game by so he's passing out. He's
He just
But
doesn't stay healthy though.
he don't stay healthy, but he's passing
That's the
out.
thing.
You
He's
take
really
Dame
develop-
away from Nurkic,
that's
he
the
gonna
thing.
stop
developing
passing
that. He's really developing that shot. That's
Exactly.
A good, that's,
He's-
that's a good.
That's
point.
true. He used to not
But
pass.
but where
You
would
keep
you?
Nurkic on that team, he gonna think he the number one option.
I'm not saying. I'm not gonna say he was on Jokic's trajectory.
was
but,
that
like he was improving before he tore his ACL or
I
he
agree,
broke his
yeah.
leg into
Broke
his
his
ACL.
leg.
He broke his leg,
Yeah.
bro. Like
Borderline
outside
left
of that,
to
it's
center
like ever
field.
since
And
then,
like
it's like
improving on like on all levels. Like he got that shot up.
Even defense.
Even
Oh, yeah, he was-
defensively.
he
He
was
was
going crazy.
rim running. He was handling that.
but he's not Paul George.
He's
I'm sorry, he can't snap your leg and come back like that. I'm sorry, he's not Paul George.
even still like you don't need him. He's still good in the post. You know what I'm saying? Like he lost the speed and all that stuff. It's okay because Arvydas Sabonis, his ass was not fast.
I about to see you on Sangoon type
you
of
don't have
timing
to be
right now.
fast
Is it-
though.
Huh?
You don't have to be fast.
I don't think trading Nurkic is a necessity for this.
You don't
Nah,
need to
nah.
trade Nurk.
Especially because, we're seeing in Houston, in Memphis, that, having some veterans around that have been around.
You're
the
right.
players of
You're
this.
absolutely
right.
Nurkic
No,
may not be
man.
the vet you want, but he's been around this core
New Orleans,
young players. Simons and, New Orleans, they don't got no vets either.
Yeah,
But,
but Valanciunas. What you
Dang,
mean?
Gary Temple?
Nah, CJ's too worried being the NBA PA president,
Valanciunas?
negotiating bad deals, and then
Gary
Temple
Temple was
Garrett Temple.
He was vice president too.
I don't care what he was.
What about
He-
Valanciunas?
What about vice
See,
presidents?
They don't be in the
Valanciunas?
locker room. They be in the office.
Yeah,
It's
Valanciunas.
Valanciunas. That's about it.
But,
I mean, at
Valanciunas-
least
you
Grizzlies had Steven
Valanciunas
Adams.
is new, man.
About to say Valanciunas
Zion
and Steven
been
Adams
there
are like on
longer
the same
than
tier of
Valanciunas.
vet right now.
All I'm saying is keep Nurk. If it's one thing I've noticed in the league today, you got a fat white boy on your team. You got winnings coming your way.
You got a chance.
You got a chance. Think about it. Think about all the fat white boys in the league, especially the European type.
I can only think of one.
I can only think of
You said
Jokic.
just European?
Yep. Not even. You don't
You
have to
got
be
Jokic,
just
you
European,
got
but think about
Valanciunas.
the
He's Colombian.
Val-
Venezuelan.
Valanciunas.
Who?
Valanciunas. He's not European.
Jokic is
You don't got to be
You
European.
say he was Colombian?
He's also Lithuanian, but
It's,
he's
You say
Lithuanian.
he's
he's
not Lithuanian.
Yeah, he's
Huh?
from Lithuania.
Yeah, he Lithuanian, bro.
Valanciunas Lithuanian.
You thought he was
Lithuanian.
Colombian?
Somebody's called. It's one fat white
He
set,
thought
bro.
he saw the comeback. Thought it was Grievous Vasquez.
Oh shit.
Hey, young. You thought he was a Hispanic this whole time?
Yes.
Yo,
That's
Valanciunas.
hilarious.
Do you see how many accents on that name? That is
Jonas?
not Spanish. Jonas
Man,
Valanciunas.
they might got to take your degree.
H you, yo. H you.
Hey, not too much on my boy. Not too much on my boy.
Chilling
Not too much on my boy.
My bad.
Yeah.
That's
I know
hilarious.
Steven Adams from New Zealand, right?
Yeah, we
we
knew
knew
that.
that.
Did you?
We knew that.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't look it up, but I'm on Valanciunas.
I didn't say
too.
you had. I didn't say you had to be European. I just like more
Okay.
specifically they were common.
Okay,
European
gotcha.
type. But you got thick white boy on your team. You got winners.
It's a bonus.
It's a bonus.
Yeah,
He's not fat, but yeah.
He not fat,
He
but
not
I mean,
fat no more. My bad.
He not like
Luka.
He not crazy skinny neither.
Luka.
Hey man,
Luke fat.
Let's
Luke
talk
fat.
about it.
Alright,
Let's
alright.
talk about
Luke
it.
got a little wagon on him
You know
now.
what I'm saying?
All right.
They got a little pudge. You know what I'm saying?
Back
you
to
know
the
what I'm saying?
draft.
You know what I'm
Back to the
saying?
draft.
Yeah.
Hey, it's still June, man.
They went too far
Still
off.
June.
We gonna keep him on the pod.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep him on the pod for sure. For sure.
So I
I'd be
guess
laughing.
the final. Well, do you have anything to answer, JB?
Oh dang!
before I go?
Finally, nah, I'm playing. I forgot we was talking about. I ain't gonna lie. We was talking about Dame, right? Sure. Okay, my bad.
Okay, I have a question. Go ahead first.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead. I was gonna make something up
If you have to put money on somewhere Dan would be by the beginning of next season, where would it be?
on where he would be.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, I
Portland.
put 10 bands on
I
Portland.
know I just said the trade request.
Portland. Right?
Portland.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
really-
don't.
I
I
like
don't
him
know
on the
what-
Heat though, but it's like
Yeah, because
he-
I'm like I don't know what I can only. Miami's the only team that seems like to potentially be trying to trade for him. So, I mean, if he files a trade request, people got trades and trade packages ready. But Miami's the only team I've really heard. So even if he does submit a trade request, I think unfortunately Portland's probably the only place.
Why should he be in Orlando tomorrow?
I love Dame, but he's scared. Dame's in a little Stockholm relationship right now. Like he's not.
Very
He,
toxic.
That's a great. That's a great.
he, but it's like a safer environment. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not hated. They not beating on him there. But at the same time, it's like that this isn't where you need to be to get to your next level. He's not. You gotta think about it as like a relationship for real. Like he's just a long-term girlfriend. He need to be a wife. You know what I'm saying? He need to be wifed up, and it's not in Portland. I'm sorry. Like they thought it was gonna be Portland, and that's all.
He
good,
done had
you know?
that engagement
Ain't
ring for
gonna
a
lie,
while.
he
That's
was
what I'm
close.
saying. That's how
It was close to one point.
that's how
Yeah.
relationships be
close.
though.
It was
Like
close.
things happen. Sometimes you just fall out of love.
Yeah, Portland. They got to the conference finals once, right?
Yeah,
once,
one
yeah.
time
Paul
they got
Pierce, he
swept.
was like, I only got a taste of it.
I need the whole.
I need the whole thing.
Let me
All right.
chill. That's what he said.
He
It's
said
been
that,
enough.
okay.
Wait, say
episode.
one time. What he say?
Say it one more
You
time,
finished
Chuck.
it. You finished it.
Let me finish.
You finished the game.
Tell me. No, I'm playing.
What'd you just say?
What Paul Pierce? Quoting Paul
no,
Pierce.
no,
Nah,
what
nah,
did
you-
you?
I know what he said. That's why I left it alone. But
Well, he finished it. Yeah, he finished it.
again,
All right.
as we were saying, he double down. But
I want to hear that.
You go ahead.
yeah, nah. You talking about the relationship between Dame and Portland Trailblazers, man. I am gonna say something crazy. It reminds me of when I look online and see I see them nurses with the gangbangers. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Tight.
I'm saying, like, why are
Tight.
you with him?
Tight.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Y'all been cool since high school. Y'all been kicking this whole time. Y'all comfortable with each other.
That's what I'm saying.
But he limiting your growth, shorty. Cut him. Be
Yeah,
free.
That's what I'm saying.
Be
And
with
The
you.
dirty Magic on this
you
episode is so
gotta-
crazy.
He said
You
when he
just
see
gotta
the
grow up.
nurses
You know what I'm
with
saying?
the
You just gotta.
Hold
You
on,
just
hold
gotta.
on. He's speaking.
You
Come
just
on.
you just gotta grow up, and it's not even a bad thing. It's just like
Right.
sometimes you need to move on. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the pre-law shorties. They be hanging out with
Oh my
pill,
God.
like you know what I'm saying. They be hanging out with drug dealers. That's cool.
We dropping downs on
That's
y'all.
cool. But it's like at the same time. At the same time, once you actually hit being a lawyer, I don't want your number one client to be your boyfriend. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? You need to, bruh.
That was the plan. What you mean? That's why you locked in. That's simple.
That should have not. Then it wasn't love. That's using. That's fake.
That's
you know what
quid
I'm
pro
saying? So it's nothing. Nah,
That's quid pro quo.
pro
Yeah,
bono.
yeah.
Yeah.
More ways than one. My bad.
But the point is, it's
We
like
still
I
talking
don't.
about the draft?
I don't hate.
That's what I'm saying. I'm about to be like, the
Sorry,
Dolphins,
sorry,
Jalen, and
sorry.
Remington
This
do
is-
not.
The whole
The
podcast.
Dolphins, Jalen, and
My
Remington
bad,
do
my
not
bad.
reflect the
You
What's the
done-
Play
You
podcast.
done got somebody on here who gonna match him.
You know what I'm
You know?
saying? Say less, bro.
All I'm saying is like I love Dame in Portland, but I don't think it's really not working out long term. Like they probably could be like real good, like best friends, but he not getting wiped up right there, and that's the goal here.
I feel that.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel that.
Not getting that ring.
You're not.
Yeah,
not.
that engagement
They
ring been
gonna
on
talk
like
about a
10
little bit. Oh, baby, you know I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's just I need to work on some things right now. You don't
I'm
need
gonna
to work.
change.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe we bring someone else into a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
It'll
that'll
all work out.
It
You know,
might,
Oh
we got spice,
my
we got spice
God.
spice it up. Spice it
a
up.
little bit.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
And
saying?
who do they spice it up
Become
with?
the What's the
Who they
Play
spice it up
Lifestyle
with?
podcast.
Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant.
And I'm not mad at the move necessarily, but come on now, he's not. He's
not moving the needle
Not
like
five
that.
star.
I'm saying like I'm not dropping my girlfriend over Jeremy Grant. I'll tell you that, but I'm not moving that much around. But like just I think the Heat is probably it is the best opportunity for him. You're right though. Watch him show up in like Orlando, some crazy. Watch him show up on like the Jazz, fool.
Orlando.
I see Orlando happen. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate. I just said Jazz just to troll, but I kind of like that Dame marketing. That might be a little crazy. That might be a little
Sexton
crazy.
in Portland.
You gotta be.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ew.
They might do
Ew.
the same thing. Little
No.
Dame. Little Dame sex.
Let's
run it
Sexton is
back.
a whole bunch of picks.
We're gonna pull a Thunder 3-guard lineup.
What would the Damian Lillard call it? What would that be? Lil sex? They gonna have little sex up there.
Oh my god.
They gonna have
Oh my
they gonna
god.
have little sex over there.
He's worse than me. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this. I'm sorry.
That was a bad bar.
Like I did that.
That was a bad bar. My
I ain't gonna
fault.
lie. That sounds better than Sexland though.
That does sound bad.
It also sounds a lot better than. Why you gonna put him up?
cut that.
Wait, no,
Oh my
wait,
God, you
no.
gotta cut
Because why was they pairing him? Why was they pairing him with Rudy Gay?
That's kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they decided to pair him with. Bro, a little sex backcourt. Nah, a little sex backcourt. Fake
That's
kind of
sweet.
fake
That'd be
kind
sweet, man. Why the podcast?
a little fake, a little sex.
Oh my
backcourt.
Jesus! Why'd I adapt to that? Sound like a whole YNJ album right here. Yeah, come on now. But,
Damn.
exactly. Come on now. I think this is a good jumping off point for the pod.
Yeah, if y'all want some more draft talk, you know,
I'm about to say, do we
about
want
to film some draft content for y'all in a second. So
Yeah.
be sure to stay tuned. Oh wait, I didn't mean to say that yet.
Oh, yeah,
Because
we
I forgot.
Yeah, we forgot to ask at the beginning. I'm
I got
sorry,
to
y'all.
tell y'all, bro. Remington, you know what you gotta say whenever you open up a YouTube video. Come on, you gotta like, share, all that. You gonna do that for us?
Can you tell us what they need to do?
Can you please like, share, and subscribe? They're holding me hostage. I gotta feed my children.
There we go. You heard it.
You hear the children in the back?
Is he lying? I guess we'll never know. Be sure to stay tuned for the next play. This has been the What's the Play podcast.